Hello everyone, and welcome to another Top 5 Records video, and another one in the series in which I'm taking a closer look at the full discography of the Rolling Stones. 25 videos, I'm talking about a different album in chronological order every time, and I'm working towards the moment that their new album, Hackney Diamonds, will be released, and we can be talking about a 6-decade lasting career of a band. And today I'm going to be talking about the odd one out. Their Satanic Majesties Request. Why is it an odd one out? Well, this one was not well received. As a matter of fact, criticism came from outside the band and even from inside the band, with Bill Wyman talking about the recording of this album being very chaotic, with people taking girlfriends and friends along into the studio. There was not a concentrated work environment. And you know what? Those claims with regard to an overall very chaotic sound made this not the best received. There's another thing going on, and that other thing was more influential to how I first approached this album. My experience will change, by the way, but when I first approached this album, I heard a lot of stories about the Rolling Stones being copycats. This album was released in December 1967. What else happened in 1967? Well, in June there was a rather big release. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Beatles, which was, well, what can I say about that album? It was a big concept piece. You can hear new experiments going on. And people thought, the Stones are actually trying to do their own Sgt. Pepper's with an extravagant packing and making a psychedelic hippie rock band album. Now, if you compare this to other psychedelic hippie late 60s bands albums, you can't say that this is in the top 10 when you compare it to Odyssey and Oracle by the Zombies, or the 13th Floor Elevators, or even more familiar ones. I think, for example, Pink Floyd, The Piper, The Gates of Dawn. This album is different, yet listening to it with the chronological order in mind, my experience is right now different. And it's got a lot to do with the experience of this album. Right now, what I'm holding here is a first UK stereo copy. And it sounds amazing. The stereo mix is awesome. There is chaos all around, and the chaos is nice. This breathes hippie air. Now, also the packaging. I mean, I'm not sure how you call this kind of font. I don't even know how you call it in Dutch, but it changes perspective. I really like that. It's a beautiful gatefold. When you open it, there's beautiful artwork going on. You notice that Stones, they are working on an experience. The inner sleeve. I mean, this is a very exciting experience to hold, to listen to. The mix is chaos, but there are moments of very beautiful sound textures going on. For example, listening to 2000 Man and the acoustic guitar you hear on there, it is awesome. Bill Wyman sings a song, I believe it's In Another Land, and there are strange effects on the microphone that makes it a rather exciting experience. Sing this all together, both at the beginning of side one and at the end of side one. It's somewhat chaos, it's also epic, and it does make for a nice listening experience, and the sound is very intense. When you go to side two, which is called the backside, man, this is an orchestra of hippie madness, and I love it. It starts off with She's a Rainbow, which I think is like, how do I say this? This album does not shine on songwriting ability. It simply does not. There is one song that purely songwriting, is an epic. She's a Rainbow is a beautiful song, beautiful vocal melodies, a beautiful development. There's a string arrangement by John Paul Jones, who would later go and he became the bassist of Led Zeppelin. It is of a gorgeous sound, and side 2, noticeably even better than side 1, is of an audiophile production. I mean, I haven't heard the Rolling Stones sound this good listening to the albums from in this order as on this album, and that makes for quite something. Listening to the chronological order, they are experimenting here. For better or for worse, perhaps they're trying to copy the Beatles, but this album is a refreshment. It is quite the exciting experience. And that, to me, in this experiment of listening to it from A to Z, gives it another level of depth. On this album, I clearly hear time is changing, and they might not succeed in making the brilliant masterpiece they hoped. It is an awesome rock record. It is an awesome element of hippie culture, and it is an awesome experience. 2,000 light years from home. It's on here. That's a good song, you know. And it is especially good within the context of this album, of the whole psychedelic thing. So, Their Satanic Majesties Request, I think, on a very strange way, it is really good. And even more so, it's really, really exciting. So, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!